Welcome to Sunday Night Sports News, May 18 all the way to May 24th, which is today, 2026. We have some news around the NFL, the NBA, with some coaching news, by the way, as well as NBA, what's currently right now, as of right now, the San Antonio Spurs are going to tie the series to 2-2, so that's going to be intriguing. Um, Golden Knights and the Avalanche are currently playing, so as of recording, I have not checked it yet, but as of now, it is now 3-4 Golden Knights. Plus, we got some soccer. Who's going to the Champions League, Europa League Conference, and then unfortunately, news that happened during the NASCAR family. So we'll talk that one for last. So let's talk about the NFL. So the NFL started with some big news. Nashville will host the 2030 Super Bowl. Yes, this was been a request to Nashville because the Titans are going to get a new stadium. They will be hosting the 2030 Super Bowl, which is, again, once that new stadium is finalized, tune in because I would love to see that Super Bowl in Nashville. Um, in the same day, Minneapolis, you will host the 2028 NFL Draft. How about that? We went from 2027 draft, which is going to be hosted in Washington, D.C., and then in 2028, it will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is going to be awesome there for the city of Minneapolis. Congratulations, by the way, to the city of Minneapolis to earn their 2028 NFL Draft location. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has sentenced to 30 days in jail after violating probation, in which, if you already know this, had that incident there in Dallas. They were testing him with drug testing, and it was confirmed that he was on marijuana. So he will be sentenced to 30 days in prison. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Yes, last week it was been confirmed that Aaron Rodgers signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers, so he's back with them, and he kind of surprised us in his press conference, letting us know that this season will be his final season. Quoting, "This is it." And so, yes, it's official. After this season, Aaron Rodgers will retire. So he is a Hall of Famer for sure. And if you are an NFL fan and you love quarterbacks like Tom Brady, whether you hate him or like him, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers is one of those. Is he in the GOAT conversation, or probably one of the greater Packer quarterbacks, right? Probably behind Brett Favre and so many legends there in Green Bay. He's always going to be a Green Bay Packer legend. The best moments was in Green Bay. He had his moments there in Green Bay. He's won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. Since then, the Jets didn't go well. Since then, in Pittsburgh, there's some good moments there in Pittsburgh, but this season now will be his final season, and he reunites with his head coach, Mike McCarthy, who is now the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So all eyes for this season as Aaron Rodgers makes his farewell tour this season. Eagles defensive end Nolan Smith has been arrested for driving nearly double the speed limit in Georgia. So we don't know how many cents he's going to be in, so time will tell. Lions have agreed on a new deal for linebacker Jack Campbell, and it's been reported to a 4-year, $81 million extension. Jack Campbell, well earned, well deserved. He gets his own money as he stays in Detroit. And then the Giants surprised me in this news. The Giants are giving Joe Shane a multi-year deal to keep him in New York. Okay, this season for him is way more important than just getting this multi-year deal. And he kind of reminds me of Nick Caserio. Remember when Nick Caserio spent 2 seasons in Houston? This was before he's still the Texas GM. He had two different head coaches that were both fired. All pressure was on Nick Caserio's job. And so he hires the right coach, D'Amico Ryans. They've been going to the playoffs. And I believe he's got a contract extension with Houston. This right here could signal that this could be Joe Shane maybe believes that John Harbaugh is the guy to get them to the playoffs. So we'll see what happens, but it's a multi-year deal. Not sure how long. Probably is a 2-3 year deal. Time will tell. Also, Matthew Stafford has signed a 1 year deal with the Rams. So the question will be, will this be his final season with the Rams, or will he continue on playing for the 2027 season? Let's go for the NBA. The SGA has won his second consecutive NBA award. Congratulations, his MVP. Pelicans are hiring former Orlando Magic coach Jamal Mosley as their head coach, which is a big surprise for the Pelicans because they could have maybe gone with other candidates, but Mosley was the best option for the Pelicans. This one was the biggest storyline in this week. The Mavericks, who have a new president of the Mavericks, and Jason Kidd, who spent 5 seasons with the Mavericks, has parted ways with his job. So the Mavericks will find a new head coach. This surprised me because, one, yes, Jason Kidd has led them to the NBA Finals. They got the guy Cooper Flag, but this year was not been the season we all. If you're a Mavericks fan, their season was not what everyone expected. But Cooper Flag's season was better. Hey, his season was really tremendous. Even though Concanepo should have won Rookie of the Year. But anyways, this is a surprise because now, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, who have a new president, who is going to be the new head coach? There's so many options they can go with. There's guys like Billy Donovan, who's available, of course. Brad Stevens, I believe. He is with the Celtics assistant, of course. He could be a step-in, plug-in guy. But we'll see who the Mavericks hire. But Jason Kidd, I think he'll land a job sooner than later. If he doesn't become a head coach next season, then 2027 should expect a little more of Jason Kidd being a head coach in the 2027 season. Currently, right now, again, the series between the Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs is now tied at 2-2 if this were to happen, but it is now 2-2. The series is tied. The Knicks yesterday beat the Cavaliers and they're up 3-0. Tomorrow they have a chance to sweep the Cavs and go to the NBA Finals. Let's go to the NHL. The Golden Knights are leading the series 2-0 over the Colorado Avalanche. And then the series is tied between the Canucks and the Canes with a 1-1 series. How about that series, guys? Game 1, Montreal won it. And then last night, Carolina sweeps in, gets in, Game 2 win in overtime. And now they will head to Montreal tomorrow to see if they can lead the series 2-1. Let's go to soccer news to get our minds in this. So we'll start as quick as possible. Who's going to the Champions League? Starting in the Premier League, as the season's already finished, Arsenal, Man City, Manchester United, Aston Villa, and Liverpool will go to the Champions League. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Villarreal, Atletico de Madrid, Real Betis will be heading to the Champions League, which is interesting. Inter Milan, Napoli, Roma making their big return to the Champions League, and a debutant to this year's or next season's Champions League for the first time, Como, who were in the Division 4 And now they're in the Champions League for the first time in club history. Well deserved for Coma. Congratulations. Felicidades. Bravo. Bravo, Coma. All right, Bundesliga. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, RB Leipzig, and then ZFB Salzburg. League One, which is PSG, RC Lens, and Lille. Now, Lyon are in the Champions League, but they will have to compete in the playoffs. To Europa League, Bournemouth making their first appearance in Europe in history. Congratulations. And then how about this? Today, Sunderland. A year ago, they made their promotion to the Premier League. Now they got their chance to go to Europa League. Congratulations, Sunderland. Uh, Celtic Vigo will go to Europa League. Real Sociedad, who won Copa del Rey, will be heading to Europa League. Milan and Juventus was the big surprise today. They're going to Europa League. On Hoffenheim and Bayer Leverkusen will go to they will head to Europa League. Marseille will be heading to Europa League. Conference League, Brighton will be back in Europe for the second time in club history, but this time they will head to the Conference League. Getafe, how about this story? Getafe from the La Liga season, they finished in seventh place, and they will be heading to the Europa Conference. Atalanta will go to the Conference League. Freiburg, who lost to the Europa League final to Aston Villa, they will get another chance at Europe in the Conference League. And then Rennes will be heading to Conference League for next season. All right, before we do wrap this up, if you haven't seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more sports news. It's a moment of silence this week in this series. NASCAR news. In the saddest moment, Kyle Busch, two-time NASCAR winner, who he's been a real an icon to the NASCAR company, has died at the age of 41. He suffered a pneumonia progression into sepsis. That was according to his family. This is a sad moment for the Busch family, to the NASCAR family, of course. There was a lot of moments. The moment of silence came in the Coca-Cola 600, which is not far over there in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Indy 500 also gave them a moment of silence to Kyle Busch, which is awesome. Kyle Busch is one of the best racers in this company, and plus, he's a husband. He's not just a racer on the track, but off the track. He's a husband to a really good to a good wife and good kids. Really sad moment for the NASCAR family. And yes, as always, we'll see you guys in the next one with a moment of silence to Kyle Busch as he died at the age of 41.